Good morning, everyone. Welcome to a new Super 69 EV film. My name is Tom, and today I just wanted to talk is where are we going with this? Because let me explain. We went on holiday to Turkey for a week. And here in the Netherlands, everything has to be green. Everyone has to drive like an EV, and everyone is doing it. And if you look around on the street, you see a lot of hybrid and a lot of EV cars, and even some electric lorries. And it's all very green, so to speak. But let me adjust. But the problem with the Netherlands is, even though our government think that our country could save the planet from global warming and anything else, we are around about this tiny, just a speck in the universe. The whole world is a speck in the universe, but in our world, the Netherlands is so tiny, it's not even funny. Maybe it is. But that's not the point, and let's not get into politics. But what I was wondering was, what's the use that everyone is trying to go electric in the Netherlands? Because we went to Turkey. We landed at the airport in Antalya, and I absolutely despise flying. I don't do it very often, nor do I want to, but sometimes when you want to go on a holiday and you want to be a bit further away, you just have to fly. So we did. And always the first thing I look at when we exit the airport is, what are the cars I can see? And the cars I could see were all like, the first row was all these new Mercedes V classes with Maybach grills and Maybach signs on the hood ornaments. It was really funny to see. But then after the first row, where all the VIP transport is and all the high-end taxis are, you get to the second and third row, and there are the less nice cars, like the somewhat older diesel vans. And they weren't somewhat older, they were archaic by standards in the Netherlands. There were like a lot of non-turbo diesel engines rattling about, and I thought, well, okay, that's what you would expect at an airport in a foreign country. Then we went to the resort, which was all nice. We went in a Ford Transit van, like same generation as our camper van, but then the big one, the full size, with like 680,000 kilometers on it, which is actually pretty durable if you use a car for that many kilometers. So I thought that's all fine. Then we went to a town and we got picked up in this, it was like 20 years old diesel van without a turbo. It really struggled to get up hills and stuff. And I was looking around and everything was so old they were driving. And it's normal, right? Turkey isn't the richest country in the world, and the distances are great. So if your car functions, you'll keep it. But it made me think, what's the point of us in the Netherlands just going on about going electric, everybody trying to get them in electric cars without it being even help? Is it even helpful? Is it even doing something? And that's something we had there was a really interesting discussion on a video I made 2 videos ago. You really should read the comments. It was a really civilized and interesting discussion where people are, rightly so, questioning if EVs are as clean as people are making them out to be, and if they are as good. But then I got home, got in my i3 again, had to drive to work, and I just have to say, it is just a better experience. If you leave everything aside, like emissions and everything, there are 2 facts. One fact is there are no tailpipe emissions, so for your direct surroundings, it is cleaner. And the other fact is, In the Netherlands, it's cheaper. Diesel in Turkey isn't that expensive, even to Turkish standards. So, of course, the price has ever risen there too, but it's not that expensive as it is here in the Netherlands. So, but driving an EV in the Netherlands still is very, very cheap compared to a petrol or even a diesel car. And with the new faster charging cars and stuff, I really don't see the need to get an EV. Not an EV, like to get a diesel. But in the bigger scheme of things, what I think we should all be concentrating on isn't the EV cars, but man, let's just focus on planes or boats or ships. Or if you see a plane taking off, the amount of fuel that's leaving the engines and the way it's polluting. It's in the Netherlands we had this CO2 research, and the government left out the harbor in Rotterdam, Schiphol, the largest airport in the country, and Tata Steel, one of the biggest steel producers in the Netherlands. And I was like, what kind of research is that? If you leave those three out, then then the whole research is invalid. I'm not a scientist, but I studied a lot, and they told me if you want a good data set and you want to have all the facts, you better make sure you start off with a good data set to start with. And if you don't start off with the correct data set and you leave stuff out on purpose or not, trust me, this is on purpose, then your complete research will be invalid, because the starting point of your data set is fully invalid. And that's the thing with this CO2 research, that I just don't buy it. And yeah, I still think that if everyone would drive an EV, it would be better, because there would be less tailpipe emissions. You don't have to dig up oil to make fuel that you burn and is gone forever. Of course, if you make batteries, that's pollution in its own way, and it's not very clean. But you can recycle lithium after the batteries have stopped being useful in cars, or you can use them for other purposes, like there are old Nissan Leaf battery packs in the Amsterdam Arena. It's a football stadium, and they start the lighting for the stadium on the power grid, and then they go over to the battery packs that are being charged by solar. So there is even use after they stopped being useful in cars. So arguably, I'm no expert on the matter, and I don't know enough to say, well, this is final and we should all do this or do that. But I think the more EVs on the road, the better it will be. But it will all be useless if we are not focusing on getting cleaner ships and cleaner airplanes, because they pollute so much more than the cars. And of course, I know how they calculate it. They calculate like, yeah, but an airplane holds like, let's say 250 people, so divided by 250, it is still a clean way of transport. Be that as it may, not every airplane is full, and if you can cut it in half, it will be even cleaner. Or just tax it higher. Every government loves to tax cars, which I get because there's so many of them, and the airplane companies have, the flying companies, the airlines have very, very powerful lobbies. Just tax flying higher. I didn't need to go to Turkey. I wanted to go to Turkey. And if I had to pay like 25 bucks extra to get there, I would have, because it would have been part of my holiday. If I want to drive on the Brenner Pass in Austria, for example, I have to pay tolls, and it's like a 35 or 40 euro toll, which I have to pay if I want to use it. So it's just part of the travel. So, what do you think? I'm not sure, but I still very much like to drive my EV, and it's small, it's light, it's not that hard on the roads, so I'll keep driving it, and I think in the long term, this is a very much cleaner alternative than driving a diesel. Let me know in the comments what you think. Just a bit of an eye-opener. And next movie will be an update on the i3. It's at 93,000 kilometers currently, and big things are coming. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you have, please subscribe to the channel. It helps the channel along. And if you have been, thank you very much, and have a great day to you all. Bye bye.